I'll remove those with a pair of tweezers, put them over there. And now I can get at these two screws here, and that will remove that entire piece. I think that's undone. Not quite. A little bit more. Yep, I think that should be done. Yep, that's one of them. Now take the next one out. This is the easy one, it's on the outside. Spin it out, remove it with a pair of tweezers. In a minute, not quite. Sure feels like it's loose enough. There we go. Now very carefully, in case there's any other pieces underneath anywhere, we'll lift that section up and off. The first one, and that lever there has to fit into that piece of copper that's been soldered on. Alright, we'll check that in a moment. I'll take that out very carefully. Nothing else on it. Nope, it just fits in there. And now, oh, that's the bracket that goes underneath it. And now we've got a screw there and a screw there. I think we're back to version again. The other one's not going to be fine enough to get it out. Alright, unscrew that. Pair of tweezers to collect it. There we go. And the one at the front, being careful not to break any pins that are on it, especially because I don't know what they're there for at the moment, so we've got to work that out. Take that out, and now this piece here comes off. Some marks here and there, but those two screws there that guide that little piece across there are different heights. So I'll leave them for the moment. I don't know whether one of those is a bit looser or not, but I would imagine that both of those cheesehead screws should be the same height. Actually, I will screw that down a little bit. We don't want to lose it. Now I can adjust it later. Yeah, that's better. All right. So now we can remove this barrel. I'll loosen this screw here a little bit and loosen that a bit more. Still a bit tight there. And see if that, yeah, those teeth seem to be alright. Alright, back to our screw again. We don't want to loosen it completely and pull it out. Gee, that's been hacked off. That hasn't been finished at all. Alright, well, I'll think about that for a minute because we can't just drag it out with the teeth over the top there. The teeth seem to be alright. I can't see any damaged teeth, though there's a wear line along there and round there. So something's been scratching on it. Alright, I'll investigate this and see how we can get that out, because the arbor is not going to move on it, but we have to be able to get that part out. Alright, we'll do some close-up look at this. You can see big slabs of solder over there. That's certainly run off seriously well holding that hook on. But you can see the tiny size of the teeth, how tiny the teeth are on that wheel. Even the pinion has got really small leaves on it. That little guy in there, when the fan spins, you can see that worm screw will turn, which turns this little wheel out here. That tiny little wheel. That tiny little wheel there, I think wouldn't be much over 10 millimeters. I'll put a vernier on it and we'll see exactly what the size is. There we go, 7.86 millimeters. That's the size of that little wheel in there. Those teeth are absolutely microscopic. There's another pinion on there. These teeth are a little bit bigger. That could do with a good clean-up. Well, what we're going to do while we're here, we might as well have a look at this mess close up. He's created some sort of a spring here for that little click, that tiny little click down there, which when I turn this wheel, that little click in there. It's a huge big wad of solder on there, and all the way running down across there, there's excess pieces in there lying round. There's a massive amount of oil sitting on that pivot there. That tiny little click there actually turns round. You can see it working, so that spring that he's made and bodgy it up is actually working. So what I've decided to do with these parts, I'm going to clean them up in some kerosene. I'll rub them down with a toothbrush, then we'll put them into some naphtha and remove the kerosene like that. Then we'll dry them off, and then I'm going to put the movement back together again with all these bizarre modifications that are on it, just as a matter of interest to see whether it's going to work or not before I start trying to clean up these horrible messes he's got here. I'm rather fascinated to see whether the work he's done on this actually solves the problem that he set out to solve. Alright, so I'll get some kerosene and we'll start cleaning these parts. Because the teeth on these wheels are so fine, you can imagine the tiniest little piece of dust will stop this movement working. So what we're going to do is we'll very carefully wash each piece in some kerosene, being very careful because the parts are so incredibly fine. And we'll run over the edge of the teeth there, one at a time, and hold that piece back so that we can get between each pair of teeth and down onto there. See the flies spinning more easily already. And then a general run over the entire piece, covering the bizarre soldering sessions and that little tiny little pinion down there. Absolutely tiny. I'll see if I can point it out to you, but you probably won't be able to see it. Right down in there, it's the pinion down there that drives this wheel there. And it is absolutely tiny. It'd be flat out being 2 mils across, I would think. Alright, that's the first bit. We'll put that in some naphtha now to clean that up. Now I'll run over the barrel. We don't know whether all the pins are still there or not, but we'll discover that hopefully once we get this done. Now I'll run over the teeth on that wheel there, and once again being very careful, we don't want to bend any of the pins on the barrel. And then the pinion out here, we'll run over that with some kerosene. And actually while it's here, I'll dry this arbor off and I'll get some fine steel wool and I'll run round on that. Oh, that's looking better already. We'll give it another go. We'll get dirt and old coagulated oil, etc. off there. I'll wipe it again so we can see if we've made any progress. Yeah, that looks way better. Absolutely way better. Alright, that can go into the naphtha, roll it backwards and forwards. And now the first wheel, complete with ½ a pound of solder on it or thereabouts. It looks like it's got that much. It hasn't actually, but we'll get in here and run over all the teeth, including the ratchet between the two wheels, and that should have cleaned that up, I would say. Not the same colour as if it came out of the ultrasonic cleaner, but these parts don't require that level of cleaning. We'll probably lose them anyway. Now here's the bracket that held that top piece down, including that very fine wire there. I'll have a quick run over, being ultra careful with that. We're just taking a bit of surface crap off the top of the plate, but it's mainly the screw thread that I want to clean on there. Put them into our naphtha. Now we've got our on-off switch here, so we'll over that again, and that's in pretty not too bad a shape actually. I might touch that up with a piece of steel wool later, but it doesn't seem to be too bad. We want that hole to be clean in there. And what else have we got? We've got a couple of, there's one, I'll just drop them in. Two, and I think that's all we've got there. Couple of little washers. They're not going to be easy to clean, that's for sure. They're so tiny. We'll make a fist of it anyway and see how we go. They're in there, and might as well do these pieces too. Everything is covered in excess oil. I'll take these couple of washers out. I'll dry that one off being careful not to lose it. And then see, I'll leave that till later. I'll clean that up later. It's a bit too fine. And 245 screws. Clean the dish up they're in, so we've got a clean one to put them back in. This spacer plate is done, and we'll just flick the screws around. They're not easy to clean. Where's our pair of tweezers? Whoop. Be careful, don't lose that on the floor, you'll probably never find it. Yeah, that's looking cleaner. Alright. That, and I'll put all those together because those 5 screws came out of the same part of the music box, and that'll keep them all together. And the looks like there's 3 different sizes. Clean the thread up, drop him in, and these 2 tiny little guys down here. You're not going to see these ones, I'll be covered by my glove, but we'll do them anyway. And this one. Right, so we'll do this piece here. This is a non-functioning piece in this music box. It usually has a contrate wheel running around inside there with teeth that stick up like that instead of going around the radius. And it has a spring in there, and it's wound up there, but it's been seriously modified so that it can run on a chain on the other side. So we'll give that a clean anyway. There's a couple of very fine screws on the top there to be careful of, but naturally it's a bit crappy inside there, so we'll give that a bit of a clean and clean the whole thing up while we're doing it. Now, and all those pieces there come out of the same place. All right. Everything else is pretty clean actually. We've got that screw there's not too bad. I think that's clean. Yeah, that's all right. That's a bracket that holds it together. I think that's not a problem, that. Little bit of excess solder on the bottom down there. Bit hard to see now because it's got kero on it, but it is there. You can see it when I turn it backwards and forwards. Alright, well, that's the end of that. I'll pour the kero back into the bottle, and then we'll take the parts out and dry them, and then we'll put it back together and see if this thing's going to work or not. Now we'll take the parts out of the naptha, and I'll put them on a piece of clean dry paper here. That way we can keep them all in their relative position, so they'll be easy to put back where they came from. I think I'll let these air dry actually. It won't take them very long. It's just that the parts are very, very tiny. And even using a heat gun on low, you run the risk of overheating some of these parts. And that is the last thing we want, because we want to see if we can get this music box going with the bizarre configuration of solder blobs on it. So we'll give the guy the benefit of the doubt, and we will see whether it's going to work or not. Alright, there's all the parts that we've cleaned in kerosene and then put through light straight run naphtha, and also known as shellite or lighter fluid, and they're looking, well, feeling quite cold of course because it's evaporated. They're looking quite clean, and if I turn this wheel here, you can see now how easily the fan spins on that worm gear. Well, that's a plus anyway. We've made an advance there. We'll have to wait and see whether the whole thing's going to work or not. But anyway, alright, so there it is for the moment. We'll let these pieces dry off, and then we'll come back and we'll look at putting them back together again.